Rick Kendall called me a couple days ago and asked if I would present something to the November 16th session, special session and training, I guess. So I'm going to talk about the SIR happenings. I'm Jerry Sabo. And on your screen you can see roughly what I've done. I've received a lot of basic information from various branches. So here, for example, Arnold, branch 152, October, I guess I have two of them, and September. So each month, during the month, I receive newsletters from all the different branches. As well, here's some news tips from James Kwan, some consumer tips. And as you can see, I've got quite a few different branches that have submitted newsletters to me. Some of them multiple newsletters, and of course some new branches don't give me anything. And most of the time I receive a PDF version of their newsletter. And what I do is basically I open each newsletter, and like I use quite a bit from Auburn usually, so let me go ahead and open this very quickly. And what I do, I'm using two monitors, so I'll have to move things over. What I do is go through each newsletter and I take off the heading. I always look for special things. Now, I'll have to show you what some of the older newsletters look like, but in this particular newsletter, what I'm going to find mostly would be new members, if I can find any, and any other special activities are happening. Nothing pops out right now, so I may find something in the other newsletters from Arnold, and maybe not, but I'll try to get something, maybe a page's worth of information. And let's close that for now. I know some of the newsletters, for example, the newsletter I get from San Mateo is huge, and this information, I think there's probably about, no, I don't see the number of pages. Here's 18 pages of information, and I'll probably pull quite a bit of information from this particular newsletter and put it in the November issue of the SIR Happenings. So basically this is what I do. I know when I first received the SIR Happenings several years ago, when John Scarpellis was putting the newsletter together, it was mostly information from the branch officers and from various committee chair people. I was a state bowling commission chairperson, and I would usually submit an article. And I don't know that I spent that much time reading it because I didn't find too much that I really wanted to read about. But as I go through all the different newsletters, I'll find some information that's generally very good. Like here's something that popped my eye right now. Here's a Gordon Deeg getting some something with the bonsai, and I'll probably pull that information. And what I'll do is I will highlight this information, and I'll basically copy it to a clipboard and then paste it onto the newsletter. Here's what the newsletter is looking like right now. I can show you this. I'm using Affinity Publisher to do the newsletter. So all I have is I've changed the date to November. It's issue number 4. And there are a whole bunch of blank pages. You can see over here, this page 5, that was from branch 1 because I will be getting things from them, from San Mateo, as I just pointed out, and I'll be putting in probably several pages of information. As I scroll down the pages, I'm not sure what that is. That's something from branch 8, but I think I'm going to change their banner up here. I have to do that. And here's something from branch 17, Luther Burbank branch in Santa Rosa, and I usually get some information from them. And here's Mission Trail branch, Los Altos, branch 35. Right next to it, here's branch 37, Placer Gold. I think that's probably the one I was just pointing out. And my own branch, the Pathfinder from Fremont. And I'm saving room for a lot of information. And as you can see, here's China Camp. I've just been receiving information from them the last couple of months, and it's very interesting. Solano. Here's a branch 98 in Roseville. Here's Stanislaus branch 103. Here's one where I usually get some information that I like from Dave Bogger. I think he has a lot of information. I will try to change this date, or maybe I'll grab the new masthead without the date for the newsletter. Here's something from Lake Tahoe, branch 160, branch 174, La Miranda, and not too many other branches. Maybe I know I'll get a few news ones. The last several pages basically were information from James Kwan about consumer tips. Now, personally, I don't mind getting a PDF, and it's fine, but if anybody happens to have a specific article that they would like to publish, it would be really nice to get a Word document, and I'll show you how easy that is. If I get a Word document, let me pull something very quickly from my own newsletter and just show you how it works. If I go into my Finder and I pull up, if I pull up a Word article, here's one that James Kwan. I mean, it happens to be, as you can see. Let's see. It says it's Consumer Tips, September 2021. I don't think I have any other consumer tips, but all I do is I drag that newsletter, drag that into here and drop it. And as you can see how nicely it works, I can widen it and move it around the page. And since it's more than one page long, it's not fitting everything. So what I'll do, happens to be page 48. Let me go down here to where I'm using it. It's right down here, branch. I'll go to the next page and I'll build a text box. So I just take this cursor and I build a text box. I don't want it to be 2 columns. I'll just switch it to 1 column. Then I'll go back to this page and I just grab this little, let's see, let me get my cursor proper. I'll just grab this little thing here and click, and I'll see a little picture. Whoops, not that one. There's a little chain link there, and I click that, go to the next page and drop that, and what happens is that carried to the next page. Let me go one more page, put another text box, open it up there, go back to the last page. Whoops, page 48, the first one. I need to make this bigger. And try to get the margins about the same. Then I'll go to, that's page 48, here's page 49 that was already linked. And as you can see, there's information still down below. So what I'll do is I'll grab the little chain link again and go to page 50, click there, it continued. Let me go to the next page, 51, put another text box, go back to page 50, click on the chain link, go to the last page, 51, click there, and it's fit. I got to add another page. So I right click, add another page. I'll just say 1 page after. Build another text box. Go back to page 51. And get my cursor. Click the chain. Go to page 52, click there. Oh boy, this is a long one. I guess I should have added another couple of pages. I've got 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Let's add 2 more pages. Oops, not from the file, excuse me. Add pages, let's put 2 pages after, okay. Go to that page here, enter the text box, go to the page before. So what I'm trying to say is, when I get things from Microsoft Word, they're really nice and easy to drop in, and I don't have to do much editing at all. So this is good. Well, that's the end of the issue. And I'll shrink this down. So I go to the top. And maybe I'll find a cartoon or something to put there. So basically the information that I got, the consumer tips that came from 2021 September, that fit in very nicely. And one of the things that I look for is the font, because we're supposed to be using the Lato font for these newsletters. So I'm going to select all of this. Select all this. And I'm going to change the font to the font that we're supposed to be using for our newsletters, the Lato font. And I just did that, and it should have changed it all. So now everything is in Lato instead of Times New Roman. And it's a little more in line with what we're trying to do for consistency in all the newsletters. Now, I'm not going to go any further with this. This is plenty for one session and gives you an idea what I do with the newsletters. It's a little more difficult when things are in PDFs, but it's not too bad. And for example, the Dave Plogger information, I'll highlight it and I'll paste it in here, but I'll have a little bit of tweaking to do. Maybe this will give you some questions, and we can cover those on the 16th of November, which is when you'll see this anyway. Thank you.